Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. I know most of you were probably expecting a World of Warships video today, and that is what I normally do. I alternate World of Tanks one day, World of Warships the next day, but, well, something happened. Circonflexes sent me a couple of replays in his Type 64, and, well, if you've ever seen Circonflexes play, you'll understand that when Circonflexes sends me one of his replays, something pretty spectacular must have happened. And he's not going to disappoint. So we're basically going to be having a bit of a World of Tanks binge this week, and then back to our normal World of Warships, World of Tanks rotation next week, and I'm pretty sure most of you aren't going to be too upset to hear that. Today and tomorrow we've got two Type 64 matches, courtesy of Circonflex. He's been playing his Type 64 quite a lot apparently, and the first match, the one you're watching right now, is more of a, well, I hesitate to use the word typical when I describe a Circonflexes game, because generally when he's at the controls of a tank, what you're about to see is anything but typical. But this is more of your typical light tank playstyle. It's very aggressive light tank playstyle in the Type 64. There's a 5916 on the team who's in your traditional spotting bush over there, and he's playing as a passive scout, and well, I'm pretty sure he's not getting anything spotted in that position, because Circonflexes is playing very aggressively in the centre of the field, keeping mobile, and he's already scored over 1,000 spotting damage on enemy vehicles as they advance up the top of the hill. Now, I'm sure most of you watching this video are perfectly aware of what spotting damage involves, but for anybody watching who's perhaps new to World of Tanks, what's happening here is Circonflexes is spotting these targets for his team. And because he's able to spot them, that means his team are able to shoot at them. So any damage that his team inflicts on targets that he has spotted, he earns 50% of their experience and credits for the damage that they're doing. And that's how light tanks are able to remain competitive as experience and credit earners, even though they're not actually doing any direct damage themselves. T-43 over there, he's going to have a shot. Nicely aimed, but, well, it bounced. 76mm gun on the, I've forgotten what the tank is. Type 64, of course it's a Type 64. This is actually an M42 Duster anti-aircraft vehicle chassis with the Hellcat turret. Right now he's taking shots at that M41. And the M41's put a couple of shots into the STA-2, who's managed to hit him as well and forced him to fall back. We're going to be seeing more of that STA-2 and the enemy M41 Walker Bulldog towards the end of this match. For now he's going to try to get some more direct damage done, but he's shooting at an IS-6 here with a 76mm gun, so he's switched to his APCR ammunition, and he does start to do some damage, but again, it's only a 76mm gun, so he's doing 121 damage per hit on average. His combined damage total at the moment is over 2,000. The vast majority of that, of course, is from the spotting damage rather than the direct damage that he's doing. Right now the situation is not good. The team are trailing 4 kills to 1, and while they haven't completely lost the top of the hill yet, they're about to. This is the first point in the game where Circonflexes actually gets spotted, as he does another aggressive, active scouting run in the middle of the field to light up, amongst other things, that T-43 he was taking shots at earlier. You'll notice that the other Tier 6 light tank on the team, the 5916, is still stubbornly sitting in that bush. He hasn't moved this entire game. And unfortunately for him, if he's relying on passive spotting while Circonflexes keeps making these aggressive active spotting runs in the middle of the field, well, it's not going to work out very well for him at all. In fact, he only gets the grand total of 44 spotting damage at the end of this match. With Circonflexes scouting as aggressively as he is in the same location of the map, there's just no way that guy is going to get any spotting damage. Which is a bit unfortunate if you're in a 5916, because you tend to rely on spotting damage for your experience and credits, because your gun is absolutely terrible. Unfortunately, Circonflexes is here. Well, fortunately, Circonflexes is here, because he is going to carry this game big time. The last two surviving friendly tanks on the hill, the IS-3 and the Centurion Mark I, have both just been killed. There's a T-30 just below the crest of the hill, but the weight of numbers against him, I don't fancy his chances. T-30's just been killed, the scores are now 2-8. Something like 2/3 of the enemy team on top of the hill. There's the batch at 25 AP, the Tier 9. He doesn't wait for 6th Sense there to tell him that he's been spotted. He relocates instantly. I mean, he was firing through concealment at the tanks on top of the hill, but there are other tanks off to the right-hand side that may have seen him as he fired. As it happens, he did manage to fire without being spotted, but better safe than sorry when you have as little health as you do in a Tier 9 game when you're in a Type 64. It is just a light tank after all. There's that T28 again. This guy has not had a good game. He's basically spent this entire game on 229 health. He's the first guy that Circonflexes spotted right at the start of the match. And he took over 1,000 damage just about instantly. He's not had a very good day. In fact, he does no damage whatsoever in this game. And there's the Bulldog again. That was a pretty ballsy move, but Circonflexes can't afford to stick around and capitalise on it because he's taken a hit from the KV5. The 5916 takes one hit and then bounces another one, which is a bloody miracle with the armour on that thing. His cover's been blown, he's got to get out of here. That position is no longer tenable. He's got less than 300 health remaining. The team aren't doing too badly at this point, however. I mean, they're still trailing, but they managed to narrow the difference in kills to just 3 tanks. Oh, wait, no, me and my big mouth. They've just lost an ISU 152. So, 6 to 10. 5 tanks on Circonflexes' team versus 9 tanks on the enemy team. And Circonflexes does not have a lot of ammunition remaining for this 76mm gun. He's only got 17 shots remaining at 115 damage per shot. That's a theoretical around about 2,000 damage that he's capable of doing from here on in. But realistically, you have to anticipate that half of those shots are either going to bounce or miss. So Circonflexes is extremely unlikely to be the one to kill all of these fellas, and all they have remaining are 2 artillery, that 5916, who only does 300 damage in this game, and that STA2. And I can tell you right now that that ISU 152 is the only kill that Circonflexes gets in this game. They're just about to lose their GW Panther, who's attempting to suicide in the lake up in the top northwest corner, but he gets an end put to his scumbag ways by the SU 12244 on the enemy team. So now there's only 4 of them left. 1 artillery, 1 STA2, and, well, that 5916, who, once again, only managed to do just over 300 damage in this game. So somebody on the team is going to have to do enough damage to kill 7 enemy tanks, and they've just spotted an ISU 152. So the STA2 on the team has obviously detected the ISU over there is attempting to kill him, and Circon and the 5916 are doing what they can. From here, however, well, their options are a little limited. He's done some damage to the ISU 152, but it's probably going to be up to the STA2 to finish him. If that ISU is not operating alone, the STA2 is in serious trouble, and the T43 and T29, who were on top of the hill, could be up in that direction. The KV5 and the SU 12244, of course, are up in the top northwestern end of the map where they finished off. STA2 scored a hit, now he has to stay safe and get the gun reloaded so he can finish that ISU off. And he's done it. The STA2 is now on 4 kills. Now Circonflexes has got to spot the remaining enemy tanks. There's a KV5, a T29, a T43, an SU 12244 and an M41 Walker Bulldog. Luckily, the M53 artillery, who's in a pretty desperate spot down there and didn't want to risk crossing the field, manages to surprise and shotgun the SU 12244, so that's 1 less tank for them to worry about. He fires a couple of shots at the Walker Bulldog and then immediately hauls ass and gets the hell out of there. He's been spotted, his cover is blown. There is no point whatsoever in both of the scout tanks occupying the same bush, especially since, well, Circon at least has been spotted there. That bush is likely to start attracting some fire. It took some fire on the way out there. I thought it may have been the T43 because it didn't look like a particularly large caliber shell, but the T43 is down there on the other side of the field and he's about to kill the artillery. Or at least he's going to have a bloody good go, but both Circon and the STA2 are taking shots at him. Circon's shot misses, artillery tries to defend himself and misses, but it's the STA2 who gets the kill. Kill number 5, 1 more for Top Gun for that guy. Circon now has 1 round of ammunition left, and there's still a T29, KV5 and Walker Bulldog to kill, and there's the KV5 and the T29. The 5916 still stubbornly sitting in his bush. Under the circumstances, that's not a terrible place to be. He's obviously hoping to re-spot the Walker Bulldog, but the Walker Bulldog is not over there. He's backing these guys up. Circon obviously cannot kill these guys himself. The Walker Bulldog going for the artillery. He's yelling to the STA2, use your gun. I will keep these guys spotted. You'll notice Circon has not been detected while driving around the middle of this open field here. He's expertly judging just how far away he needs to stay from these guys to keep them spotted without revealing his own position. The STA2 is worried though because he does not have sixth sense himself, so the first time he knows he's going to be spotted is when these enemy tanks start shooting at him. Circon urges him, get behind 2 different bushes, get a double layer of bushes between you and these tanks. Circon is sitting with just the 1 layer of bushes between himself and the enemy tanks. Now that means if Circon fires, they are likely to see him, but he's not interested in firing. With only one round of ammunition with 115 average damage, his gun is not going to decide the outcome of this battle. The STA-2's gun, however, is. He's looking at the range to the target. It's around 350 meters. He's going to have to start moving soon. The STA-2 puts a shot out, scores some damage. Circon is going to have to move to the next spotting position. The STA-2 takes another shot, does some more damage to the T-29, but they're getting awfully close. In fact, too close for comfort. They need to get out of there, fall back, get into new spotting and ambush positions, rinse, repeat, do it all over again. He's advising the STA-2 to get the hell out of there. Get up the hill, head to G0. Get into a position where these guys are not going to see you, even if you're firing through bushes, and let Circon spot them for you, and just keep your gun firing. Meanwhile, the 5916 has left his bush and he's gone looking for the Walker Bulldog. Unfortunately, he found the Walker Bulldog. And the Walker Bulldogs killed him. But with the Bulldog's position known, you can use that against him. Watch what he does. The most likely spot to be keeping an eye out for the KV-5 and the T-29 is up here in these bushes. So he knocks the tree over deliberately, guessing that this is where the Walker Bulldog is going to be watching, and then gets the hell out of there. He's not going to sit in a bush and spot the KV-5 and the T-29. He hasn't done that the entire game. He's not going to start doing it now. But he wants the Walker Bulldog to think that he is. Hopefully somebody on the enemy team saw that tree falling in the obvious spotting bush and has been furiously spamming the map at an empty location because he isn't there anymore. Unfortunately, Circon's deception only lasted about 30 seconds because he did get spotted for I think only the second time this game. But he's still managing to keep the enemy heavies lit up for that double-bushed STA-2 who puts some very effective fire in and kills the T-29. And it must be so frustrating for the T-29 and the KV-5 because all they're seeing here is the occasional glimpse of a Type 64. They have no idea where the STA-2 is. The KV-5 just took a shot at Circon there, narrowly missed. Again, you see, this is why it's good to keep moving, because Sixth Sense only goes off 3 seconds after you've been spotted. If you're sitting in a bush passive spotting, as the 5916 liked to do throughout the course of this match, then the first time you know somebody's shooting at you is 3 seconds after they've seen you. And that can get you killed, unless you're very, very sure that nobody's going to spot you. And with the Walker Bulldog still out there somewhere, the KV-5 is now dead, thanks to the sniping from the double-bushed STA-2. The Walker Bulldog, just because the KV-5 doesn't have a clear line of sight to you when you're sitting in a bush, doesn't mean the Walker Bulldog hasn't sneaked around and can see you from behind. So, if you're any good, and Circon is very good, active spotting, driving around like a madman, certainly seems to pay dividends. He's now advising the STA-2 to get into the cap circle. He says, don't worry, when there's a minute to go, I will come down and get into the cap circle with you. There's still, well, there's not that much time left in this game. There's just over 2 minutes. And it's going to take more than 2 minutes for one tank to cap, because this is encounter. But he's hoping that the cap counter going off is going to flush out the M41, because it'd be nice to kill him. I mean, winning by capping is nice, but winning by killing all of the enemy tanks is better, because it's worth more experience and credits. So, for the first time this game, he's sitting in the obvious spotting bush. He's doing a bit of passive scouting. 2 minutes to go. Where is that M41 going to be? Where, oh where are you, Mr. Bulldog? He's keeping an eye on the timer. He knows exactly when he needs to move down into that cap circle, in case the Bulldog has thought, screw this, I just want to survive the match. In which case they're going to have to win by capping, and now. Now is the time to get down into that cap circle, so that if they don't see the Walker Bulldog, they can still win by capping, because after putting up a fight like this, you wouldn't want this match to end in a draw. Of course, the risk now is that the Walker Bulldog, because some of these light tank drivers are sneaky little buggers, the STA-2 does not have Sixth Sense, so it is possible that the Walker Bulldog is watching the STA-2 right now, and he's just, oh, no, he's not. He's taking random pot shots into the cap circle. What I've seen people do under these circumstances is to force a draw. They wait until 1 second before the end of the match, and then they put a shot into one of the tanks, forcing the reset on the cap timer and ending the match in a draw. I thought the Walker Bulldog might be about to do that. And it is entirely possible because the STA-2 doesn't have Sixth Sense, so he's not going to know if he's been spotted. But the Walker kind of He kind of blew his cover there, even though he hasn't been spotted yet, by just spamming shots into the cap circle in a random attempt to try to reset the cap. So that tells us two things. One, he's got eyes on the cap circle, and two, he can't see anybody in the cap circle. Which means there he is. Wait for it. He's got one shot left. Wait for the cap to reach 100. Wait for it. Now shoot him. You cheeky bastard. So that was Circonflexes getting an Ace Tanker badge, a Confederate badge, and his third mark of excellence in the Type 64 Premium Chinese, although strictly it's Taiwanese, Premium Tier 6 light tank. What a game. That is Circonflexes using the Type 64 in the manner which it's supposed to be used. That's today's video. Coming up tomorrow, we've got Circonflexes using the Type 64 as a heavy tank. Yes, you heard that right. Tomorrow's video needs to be seen to be believed. If you thought this was spectacular, and while technically this is a better result, you're not going to believe what you see him do with this tank in tomorrow's video. So we've got that to look forward to. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I know you're going to enjoy tomorrow's video. Circonflexes, of course, live streams World of Tanks, and if you want to see more crazy shit like this, I'm going to put the link to his Twitch live stream as well as his YouTube channel down below in the video description. But that's it for today, although stay tuned because we've got more of this coming tomorrow. As always, folks, take care, and I'll catch you next time.